Welcome to the best gaming PC builds of the month for July 2018, brought to you by Noob Computer Build at noobcomputerbuild.com. We haven't put a video out on the channel for a little while, so for anyone that has watched our previous videos, welcome. But we have been putting out the monthly gaming PC build articles out on the site at noobcomputerbuild.com, so please do check us out there and subscribe to keep fully up to date and get PC builds to your mailbox every single month. This month, we have the same three builds. We have the $1,500 build, the $1,000 build, and the $700 build, which I'll get to in a second. But first, I just want to intro this video. For anyone that's new around here, we just want to say that building a gaming PC is the way to go if you're wanting to garner the most performance per dollar spent on your PC. And this is especially true for the 3 up-to-date July 2018 gaming PC builds of the month. Over here at Noob Computer Build, we put on a series of monthly builds to bring you up to date for the best performing hardware for their cost. The reason why we provide you with these 3 build categories is that these 3 budgets are the perfect performance ranges to aim for at the moment if you're going to be building a brand new PC. This is because at the low end, you can get great performance on any standard HD monitor, so 1920 by 1080 resolutions, and in the mid-range you'll get even better performance at standard HD with the ability to go on higher refresh rate monitors like 144 Hz all the way into 2K resolutions at great performance. And then in the high-end build, so the $1,500 build, it's capable of performing phenomenally at 2K resolutions and can play into 4K. So you can see that these 3 builds probably align to 95% of most gamers' capabilities out there in terms of hardware. So without further ado, let's get started. So what's new for July 2018? First of all, if you've been keeping up with the articles, there's been a few minor updates, but overall, the major noteworthy things are that the graphics cards, power supplies, and RAM prices are all starting to finally get down to normal prices, which is a pretty great thing since they've been pretty inflated for the past, I don't know, half year or so. So now is the perfect time to build your gaming PC. So let's get started with the high-end build, the $1,500 gaming PC build for July 2018. In this build, we're using a mixture of the Ryzen 7 2700X with the Gigabyte GeForce GTX 1080. So with the combination of these two, gives you a really well-rounded gaming PC. That is a gaming PC that can max out any game as well as stream at the same time if you want to. So it's very good at multitasking, so which makes it a well-rounded high-end gaming PC build. So getting started, the processor we have is the AMD Ryzen 7 2700X processor for $319.99. This comes included with the Wraith RGB cooler, the Prism RGB cooler, which is great because then you save on the cooler, and it is a pretty good performing cooler. So I would stick with that unless you're going to go crazy with the overclocking, which you can go with the liquid cooler, which we'll get to in a second. So the motherboard we have is the Gigabyte X470 Aorus Ultra Gaming for $139.99. Like I said, the graphics card is the GTX 1080. The one we have here is the Gigabyte GeForce GTX 1080 WindForce for $529.99. RAM, we have Ballistic Sport LT 16GB kit for $166.94. The SSD we have is a Crucial MX 500 gig SSD for $109.99. And the power supply we have is the EVGA Supernova 750p2, so platinum rated, so highly efficient and fully modular, 750 watts for $129.99. And the power supplies have actually gone down in price since this was like $140 last month, so you save quite a bit this month. The computer case we have is a relatively new one. It's the Cooler Master Masterbox Pro 5 RGB model for $76.19, which is a great case for that price, to be honest. And then overall, this comes to well under $1,500 at $1,468 at the beginning of July 2018. Scrolling down here, we have some upgrade suggestions if you have more to spend. So storage, you can bump your 500 gig Crucial SSD up to a 1 terabyte version for $199.99. You can get a further boost in graphics performance with a higher end graphics card such as the Gigabyte GeForce GTX 1080 Ti, $749.99. I would suggest this if you are going to kind of go more into the 4K resolution range, or if you are going to do a lot of VR gaming. So if that's the case, this would be a good suggestion. CPU cooler upgrade. You can go with a liquid cooler such as the Corsair Hydro Series H100i V2 version, $107.99. And then storage, we can do a further storage upgrade going with the PCIe SSD, such as this XPG SX8 8200 480 gigabyte stick for $159.99 for faster read and write speeds. Now moving on to the mid-range gaming PC build. This build we have here is $1,000 mid-range, so it's really good into the 1080p kind of resolutions on the high end in terms of really high FPS, and going into higher settings at 2K resolution. So if that sounds like you, then this is the build for you. Processor we have is the Intel Core i5-8400 $178.99. Keep in mind that this is a locked processor, so if you do want to overclock, you can go with this suggestion that we have in the hardware alternatives table that we will have, we'll get to in a second. Cooler is included, so we save some cash there. The motherboard we have is the MSI Z370A Pro for $110.77. Graphics card, we've switched this up in the article this month from the GTX 1060 to an RX 580, 8GB card, the MSI version for $299.99. RAM we have is a Kingston HyperX Fury Black 8GB kit for $94.99, and then the SSD we have is a Samsung 860 EVO 250GB version for $79.99. The power supply we have is the EVGA Supernova 650 watt platinum version, so highly efficient, for $109.99. And the case we have is the Fantex Eclipse Steel, which is a cool, sleek, modern type case for $59.99. And this comes to well under $1,000. So if you're budgeting for $1,000, you can budget for some upgrades if you want for $934 at the beginning of July 2018. Now for the upgrades for that one, like I said, if you want to kind of a CPU with more headroom that you can overclock, you can go with this Intel 8600K, but keep in mind that you will need a CPU cooler. Graphics card upgrade, we have the GTX 1070 for further graphics performance for $412.51, and then RAM, you can add up to 16 gigabytes if you need more RAM or you think that you have more to spend on RAM, such as the Ballistic Sport LT 16 gigabyte kit that you see here for $166.94. And you could go with a cooler. You could go with a liquid CPU cooler, the Corsair Hydro Series H80i V2. This could be recommended if you get the CPU upgrade to overclock. So that's $94.99. Now going with the kind of entry-level build, so the $700 build. This build is probably could be the most used build in terms of standard gamers. So if you just want to game at 1080p and be fine with that, that's cool. And this is kind of, I would recommend kind of the entry level for that. If you're going to build a brand new PC, why not be able to play for a while instead of needing to upgrade in a year or so. So this is just my suggestion, but that's why we start at the $700 budget range here. So the processor we have is the AMD Ryzen 5 1400, and it comes with its own cooler as well, and that's $139.99. The motherboard we have is a Gigabyte GA AV350 Gaming for $79.99, very affordable. Graphics card GTX 1050 Ti for $199.99, and the RAM we have is a Kingston HyperX Fury Black 8GB kit for $94.99. SSD Kingston Digital 120GB SSD for $37.99. Super affordable SSD, but I would suggest you could bump that up to a 250 for I don't know, $40 more if you want. So I would think about that if you're going with this exact build. Power supply we have is the Corsair CX Series 500 watt for $44.99, and the computer case, PC case we have is the Thermaltake View 21 with a tempered glass side for $59.99, and this comes out to $669. And so, like the other builds, the upgrade suggestions that we have, if you have more to spend or you want something for the future, you can go with a newer, better PC case such as this Phoenix Aurora mid-tower case for $109. Graphics card upgrade we have is the RX 588GB, same one included as in the $1,000 build, for $299.99. If you want to bump up that CPU, you can go with the AMD Ryzen 5 1600 for a little bit more at $159.99. The storage upgrade we have here, such as I mentioned above, instead of going with the 120GB SSD here, you can just start with the 250GB Samsung 860 EVO for $76.88. So that does it for the 3 builds for this month. Like I said, we haven't done a video in a while, so if you guys like this format, please leave a comment, let us know if we can do anything better, but more importantly, visit the site, noobcomputerbuild.com, and to learn more. And so some of the, just to finish off this article, we have some additional PC components, because when you're building a gaming PC, you might notice above, if you're starting from scratch, you probably don't have the basic peripherals, so a mouse, keyboard, and a monitor. So if you don't have those, please, you can check out our site to find some suggestions there, but do keep that in mind. Also, operating system. You most likely are probably going to go with Windows 10, so do budget for that if you need to, but if you don't have an OS already, you could try free alternatives such as Ubuntu or SteamOS, but that might not fit the bill for everybody, so Windows 10 might be, you need to keep that in mind in case you need to purchase that. And then also, if you need wireless internet or US or Wi-Fi, you will need to buy an adapter, so a PCIe card or a USB adapter such as the ones that you see here, so do keep that in mind. And until next month, good luck building, and look forward to hearing what you all think. Thanks. Bye.